We do expect the first lap, and then settled in into my best position.
The race and talk with the group.
My surprise team of the year is Williams, and I know naysayers have
The surprise team has to be Aston Martin. Finished 7th last year.
F1 drivers are spending their multi-million-dollar salaries on multi-million-dollar cars, yachts, watches, homes, and so on. What most of us can only dream of is the everyday life for these elite athletes. As the 2023 F1 season is starting this Sunday in Bahrain, it's time to share with you what the drivers are splurging their money on. But first of all, let us know who you are rooting for in this season. But without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Let's start off with the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. With a salary of around $40 million in 2022, Lewis can definitely afford a lavish lifestyle. Back in 2013, Lewis Hamilton bought himself a custom-built private jet for a stunning $29 million. His Bombardier Challenger 605 jet is painted in burgundy red. In 2019, he sold the jet for roughly around $8 million, taking a huge loss, all in order to reduce his carbon footprint. Would you have sold your jet to reduce your carbon footprint if you were him? Next on the list is last year's world champion Max Verstappen. Verstappen, who competed in his first Formula One race before he even legally was allowed to drive in his home country, already accumulated a massive wealth at such a young age. As he lives in Monaco and doesn't have to pay any taxes, he has extra money that he can spend for his lifestyle. Not only does he own a private jet and an impressive car collection, including a $3 million Aston Martin Valkyrie, he also bought a 120-feet yacht for around $6 million in 2021. If you want to feel like Max Verstappen, you can charter his yacht for around $100,000 per week and party where he did after becoming world champion last season. Would you charter his yacht if you were able to, and who would you bring on board with you? Fourth on the list is Daniel Ricciardo. If you ever watched an interview of him, or a behind-the-scenes video in F1, you know that this guy has a great taste in humor. But not only that, he also has a great taste when it comes to cars. Besides Verstappen, also Ricciardo was able to get an allocation from the British manufacturer Aston Martin for the Valkyrie. While waiting for the Valkyrie, he was driving his other million-dollar car from Germany, a Porsche 918 Spider. But not only does he spend his money on cars, but he also has an impressive watch collection. After joining McLaren in 2021, he was given a watch worth more than $1.2 million by one of the team's sponsors, Richard Mille, a super exclusive Swiss watch manufacturer. Do you like watches, or do you prefer checking the time on your smartphone? Our next driver is Sebastian Vettel. After he switched to Aston Martin after driving for Ferrari from 2015 to 2020, he slowly started selling off his Ferrari collection, which included crazy cars like the Ferrari F40, F50, LaFerrari, and others. He is now accumulating more and more Aston Martins. But besides cars, Sebastian really likes his privacy, so he moved to Switzerland years ago. After living in the tax-friendly canton of Zug, he moved to the canton of Thurgau in the northeastern part of Switzerland a few years ago. When he moved there, the canton made an exception and didn't publish the new owner in the official journal, as it's usually done in order to respect his privacy. As you can imagine, not everyone was happy about this. But once the chance came up to buy his neighbor's land, including a house and a barn, Vettel didn't hesitate and bought it. All for his privacy. Would you also prefer to live in the countryside to have more privacy, or would you prefer a city like Monaco? Charles Leclerc is currently the only F1 driver that not only lives in Monaco, but was also born and raised there. Growing up having the Monaco Grand Prix every year in front of his home, it's no wonder he's grown up to be a huge car fanatic. His collection not only includes a multi-million-dollar Bugatti Chiron, but also a tailor-made Ferrari 488 Pista with stripes in the colors of the Monegasque flag. His Pista also has the matching number plate, P488. Charles also owns his first ever F1 race car from Sauber back in 2018, and also his F1 race car from Ferrari in 2019. Both of these race cars are exhibited in the museum, La Collection, from the Prince of Monte Carlo. So if you're in Monaco, the museum is worth a visit. If you could choose one car, which would it be? Nico Rosberg is a former German F1 race driver. He stated in a video on his YouTube channel that his goal has always been to win the F1 World Championship once during his career. After achieving his goal, he retired from F1. During his life, he has bought multiple expensive cars, a catamaran, mansions, and other lavish things. But guess on what he probably spent the most money on in recent years. As he's a huge supporter to stop climate change, a lot of his money has flowed into investments that help stopping the climate change. These include investments into companies like Tier Mobility, Happy Ocean Foods, Treedom, and others. Did you know that Nico was investing so heavily into saving our planet? Last but not least, we cannot forget Michael Schumacher. For years he was the face of Ferrari's team. Since his skiing accident back in 2013, his family valued his privacy over everything, and therefore only very little is known about him since then. Before his accident, Michael spent a lot of money on different luxury items such as yachts, jets, cars, and other things. But overall, the probably biggest investments of Michael Schumacher were for his properties. The two biggest villas owned by the Schumacher family are their residency in the Balearic island of Majorca for approximately 30 million euros. The main family residency, where also the parents of Michael Schumacher are living, is at the Lake of Geneva in Switzerland. Schumacher has a villa with access to the lake, and it reportedly was over 40 million euros to build. And because it's Michael Schumacher we're talking about, we're giving you a little extra. During his active racing time, Michael Schumacher accumulated a huge car collection. The racing cars from his career can be examined in a museum in Cologne, Germany. It's open to the public and contains many F1 race cars from his career and also lots of souvenirs and items like cup trophies. Now that we've covered how some famous F1 race car drivers spent their fortunes, we are curious, what would you buy if you had such a fortune? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to our channel.